distanced yourself from the whole thing.
Hang if you want to. Link in. Sorry, folks, real fast. I am just getting the word out. I hate how when you do links sometimes it requires you to put the whole HTTP / www dot. Forget it. Here's what we'll do. That's exactly what I wanted. Here we go. Share to. And I can copy a link, and I can edit, and I can delete the old one because it wasn't a link, paste the new one in, there we go. I dig it. Welcome folks, welcome back to my lovely little corner of the internet. My name is Dan. Danamite, Daniel W. Artist, either are acceptable. I have many names. Welcome! Today I'm going to be doing a live stream, just another fan art live stream like I did back on Monday. Main difference being today we're not going to go for 6 hours. That is my hard set rule. Today we're going to go for like three-ish hours, 3 to 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and... oh wait, hold on, I need to make a tweet. I'll just talk while I tweet. Save some time there. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating some fan art in honor of Wonder Woman's fictional birthday. So, fun fact, my birthday was yesterday! Woohoo! I'm 24 years old now. Let me go make this real fast. Come hang with me as I draw some Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman is technically 2 words. Wonder Woman fan art. Twitch.tv/Danamite8. And then I gotta put a bunch of hashtags in here so a bunch of people on the interwebs will find it. Twitch. Twitch Creative. Twitch Creative. Twitch Stream. Fan Art. Oh, Fan Art Friday. That's a good one to use. Sometimes I forget that Fan Art Friday is an actual thing. Bursa. Heyo! Welcome to the stream! Welcome! I finally have someone to talk to right off the bat at the start of the stream. Oh, thank God. Oh. Welcome! We're going to be drawing a little fan art here in just a sec. I was just sending out a tweet letting everybody, all my lovely peoples know. Alright. So, what are we drawing today? By the way, go ahead and let me know if the audio is coming through fine, if the music's too loud. Just let me know all that kind of stuff. I've got some technical know-how, but I'm not like always like super on point. So anyway, first thing, explaining what we're doing here today. So like I said just a few seconds ago, yesterday was my birthday, and one of the things I did yesterday was I just randomly decided to Google what fictional characters I share a birthday with. I came up with 3. I share a birthday with Rapunzel from from Tangled, which I think is really cool because she is my favorite Disney princess and whatnot. I also share a birthday with Rorschach, who is one of the Watchmen characters. If you've ever read the Alan Moore Watchmen comic, or watched the Zack Snyder Watchmen movie. Rorschach is the guy who wears the fedora and that like mask that's like constantly shifting and stuff. I share a birthday with him apparently. And you know, I forget who the third person was. It wasn't that important. But in the process of doing some research figuring out who I share a birthday with, I came across a fun little tidbit, and that is that March 22nd, i.e. the day after my birthday, is Wonder Woman's fictional birthday. And I was already planning to do this live stream. I wasn't 100% sure on what I wanted to draw. But just knowing that little fact kind of got my brain kind of thinking, oh, what if I did some fan art in honor of her birthday kind of thing. Got nothing else going on for me today, so I'll stick around, I think. Good to know, good to know. We're going to be drawing for a couple hours. Back on Monday, I don't know if you're aware, back on Monday I did a 6-hour live stream drawing Rapunzel from the Tangled the Animated Series. I drew sort of like a creepy, I wouldn't call it a creepypasta, but just like a weird... They had an episode that came out recently where they did something cool with their character, and so I just kind of felt inspired to draw something for it. But yeah, so today we're going to be drawing some Wonder Woman fan art. Now here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to, so Wonder Woman, is, God knows how old she is, like, her character. Because, unlike, she technically wasn't born, she was created, like, molded out of clay, but at the same time she also may have been born, because they've retconned her backstory a couple times. It's really confusing, and I'm not, honestly, I've researched it a little bit, but I don't know 100% if what I'm saying is correct. But she's some years old. We'll go with that. She's probably much older than most people because she was alive during World War II and is still alive today and has seemingly not aged a day since. So God knows when she was actually born. Now, so what are we drawing here? Well, I've gone ahead and taken the liberty, saw the post in Discord, was quite fun. Oh, thank you. Are you, C whatever? Or, I assume you're in the Discord group. A friend of mine is asking me if I would play Modern with him sometime. Oh, yeah. Alright. Let's see. So, I've gone ahead and taken some of the hard work out of this. Well, when I did my live stream last time, the first, like, 10 minutes of the stream were me just messing with the settings on my computer. Alright, let's see. Then we're going to have a fork. It's going to be sticking up like this. Alright, so first step is sketching on top of... Oh, hello, C. Willereg! Welcome! So we're going to have like a square, or like a little like weird triangular piece of cake. Let them eat cake. We're gonna put some layers into it because cakes have layers, just like ogres and onions and people. If Shrek taught me anything, it's that people and onions and cakes have layers. That's my totally anonymous Twitch account. Welcome. Alright, so now we're gonna put, I'm trying to see. So, I'm not really doing anything like fancy for the design of this. My concept is quite simple. Wonder Woman has finished up catching Cheetah, who is one of her all-time big villains in the comics, and is eating some cake while she waits for the police to arrive. So he basically has, like, let's say that Cheetah was robbing a bank that was next to a bakery, and Wonder Woman's like, well, that was fun. They haven't shown up yet. I think I'll go buy myself a cake while I wait for the cops to show up or something. That's basically what I'm thinking. But yeah, how does the music sound? See, Willie. How would you prefer that I prefer that I call you by your Discord name or by Bursy, your Twitch name? Do you have a preference? Make it to... Also, let me turn the light on in my bedroom. Alright. Alright, so let's see, she's got her hand up. She's got one arm, it's gonna be up, covering that, and she doesn't wear gloves. Wonder Woman doesn't wear gloves. She has like bracers. One thing that's really weird about using Manga Studio, at least my version, is that all the arms, when you like twist them a certain way, they do this weird like contorted. It almost kind of looks like you've snapped your wrist and popped it back in kind of look, which is really weird. But I usually just kind of draw around that. Anyway, so we gotta put some cake on the plate here. Music sounding good. Thank you. That's always been my #1 concern with Twitch streams, is that the music would sound a bit weird and it would put people off. But good to know it's working out. She's got herself a big old slice of some cake. We'll say it's got like frosting along the sides, you know, like cakes are wont to have. And we'll say it's got a nice little. We'll put a little birthday candle. Now let's make it lean a little bit. Let's say it's just kind of slightly off to the side. There we go. And then we'll have the flame just kind of. There we go. And then of course, because it's a flame, it's going to be putting off a little smoke. Alright, then we can have some general, you know, sort of. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So that's basically it. Alright, so let me set an alarm, that way I don't accidentally go over. So my goal for today is actually not to finish this piece, because I do have some things I'm going to get done this afternoon. Speaking of which, before I go any further, I'm going to pop out real fast and put some clothes in the washing machine. I will be right back. It's only going to take like a minute. Got a chore to do. See you, lad. Alright. I'm back. I went ahead and threw some clothes in the wash. Uh-oh. There we go. Sometimes my external hard drive will disconnect itself, but it's fine. I went ahead and got myself a very thematically appropriate plate of cupcakes from yesterday. Let me go ahead and eat one. They are red velvet. They are very nice. Thank you to my family for making these for me. Alright. So good. Alright. A friend of mine keeps, I'm gonna see him, on Sunday, keeps asking me what I want for my birthday, and I'm like, just show up to the party. That's all I want. I want you. Alright, so she's got bracers on her forearms. I don't actually have any reference photos up. Let me go ahead, that's a good point. Let me pull up some reference photos off screen of Wonder Woman. Alright. Let me see here. Right, so let's go to Wonder Woman. One thing about Wonder Woman is, again, she's her character originally showed up in 1941, which was 78 years ago. So if I go to images, and she's had a million costumes since then. And I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. I mean, obviously, most people would say go with the newest one, like the Gal Gadot. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce her last name. Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman costume, but while I like the armor and I really like the costume, I'm feeling like for this, I want to go OG. How OG? Well, I don't want to go 1941 OG. Ooh, that's nice. So I'm just going to kind of pick one that looks nice. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. I like that outfit. That's pretty cool. It's a little bit of armor, but it's also got some of that classic flair in it, which is very good. Alright. So let's see here. So we're going to put some gauntlets on her. Those classic Wonder Woman, but actually they do kind of, so it's like they have it's like they bend around the back because she has to bend her wrists, you know, but alright, those Wonder Woman gauntlets. By the way, the Wonder Woman movie, superb. I think DC has finally hit their stride with the movies. Like, you know, Aquaman was actually pretty darn good. I'm gonna send my friend a list of Overwatch pops that I want to collect. I'm just gonna ask him to get me one for my birthday, and we'll call it even there. Should this go back more? Yeah, let's pull that back more. It looks like it covers her whole forearm. Almost like her entire forearm is just, yeah. There we go. So if I were to draw a line that goes all the way down, yeah, that works right there. And it's got sort of an embroidered design, it looks like. Sort of that W-ish for Wonder Woman. We could raise that up. I'm not doing a lot of detail right now. I'm just sort of giving myself a basis to work on. And right here, we'll do a similar thing. Whoop. Gonna work it around. Yep. All right.
Before you educate the head, try to educate the heart.
So anyway, so feel free to ask me anything you want while you're here. So I just have someone to talk to. Otherwise, it's just going to be 3 or so hours of me talking to a screen rambling. So get her arm out. Oh my god. There we go. Alright. There comes a point where I put so much prep because I have my 3 terabyte hard drive hooked up immediately behind my drawing monitor. There comes this part where my hand just eventually. Alright, so forearm's gonna come up, show her rather massive biceps because Wonder Woman lifts. Right. And then tricep coming around the back, and then she's gonna go into his shoulder. What am I listening to? It's like lo-fi hospital beats or something like that. No worries. No one has to comment. I just, since you're here and you're literally the only person it seems right now that's showing up for the stream, might as well. Just give her some brass plates. Alright, so she's gonna have like her iconic Wonder Woman eagle insignia that's gonna go across the front. It's gonna come up, and it's gonna go over, like right, and then it goes over the top, and then her whole insignia. It's like, yeah, so her whole shtick is that it goes slightly down. Yeah, I was talking to someone like a couple weeks back, and this kind of just, I don't want to get political, but it just kind of like, I kind of found a bit odd. I was talking to some friends, saying hi to Lainey in the server, so it took a bit of time. No worries. So I was talking to a guy. I was playing some Magic the Gathering at this place a few weeks back, and I pulled up the Wonder Woman movie on my phone and just started playing it on his TV. And he said, he's like, I heard the Wonder Woman movie came out, and I heard it was really good, and I really wanted to see it, but I was skeptical of seeing it simply because of all the feminism around it. And I went, you really don't understand the character, do you? You really don't understand the character, do you? If your biggest complaint about Wonder Woman is the fact that she's a feminist character, well, yes. She always has been. Like, since her creation, that's why she was created. So if that's your biggest complaint, sorry. Whatever. It just kind of cracks me up when people make comments like, for Captain Marvel, somebody was like, oh, I hate the fact that it's so preachy about feminism. I'm like, no, it's a good action movie. Not the best, but, And also, why would a message of an empowered woman, why would that piss you off, I genuinely want to know why. But, whatever. Alright, so, put her little... Alright. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. I don't usually do this, but I think I'm gonna do it today. I'm going to rasterize that because I want to move her head over. I think I might have, let's put her head about right there. Enter. Command T, and then go back to the sketch. And so we're gonna put head's gonna go. There we go. There we go. That looks better. FTS. FFS. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know all the hyphenated lingo the kids are saying these days. When I show up, I got spare mind index to troll around with. Oh, good to know, Kyle. Good to know. Right, so I'm gonna keep an eye on the time. I'm gonna try and be done by like 4 o'clock my time, which is like 2 hours 45 minutes, something like that. So my goal, I never finished saying this earlier, my goal for this is to get the line art done today, and then I'll probably come back next week and do the coloring, or maybe tomorrow, since I'm not going to be working tomorrow. Let's see. So that's kind of how that looks out there. For fuck's sake. Yeah, I know, right? When people complain about Wonder Woman's being a feminist icon, I'm like, do you also complain about Superman being an alien? Do you also complain about Bruce Wayne being a rich guy? Do you also complain about water being wet and, you know, the sun being bright and all the other obvious things that exist in the world, you know? People crack me up sometimes. People absolutely crack me up sometimes. I triggered a dude the other night, a couple weeks back, playing Magic the Gathering. I sat down at I had just come from seeing Captain Marvel, and I sat down at the table, and the first words out of my mouth were, "Alright man, let's play some Magic." Whew, hey, no, I just went and saw Captain Marvel, that was a good movie. That's all I said. I didn't say anything else about it, I just said it's a good movie, and he was off to the fucking races. This dude was like, "No, you're wrong, and let me tell you why." For probably about 15 minutes, he did not shut up about everything he thought was wrong with that movie. And then at the end of it, he said the best statement that I think describes who he is. He was like, "You know what we really need? We don't need any fucking Captain Marvel movies. We need like a sexy spy movie with Black Widow." And I went, I see how it goes. I know how it be. Some people be like that. But I liked it. I thought it was a really good movie. Not the best. I still think the top MCU movie is definitely still Civil War, in my opinion, even over Infinity War. Infinity War was great as like a crossover thing, but I think that Civil War, as far as like story impact, still holds top for me because it's, what's the term? Quantifiable? You know, we've known Thanos was coming for a while, but Thanos didn't. Yeah, her like in this version, her tiara does this like. But we've known Thanos was gonna arrive, you know, since like 2012. But at the same time, Civil War was like the most ambitious like fight movie up to that point. And plus, I think it told one of the best stories in the MCU. I mean, Thanos destroying half the universe. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. I mean, we also knew how Civil War was going to go. Spoiler alert. But alright, so let's see here. I'm gonna have her chin coming down. But I just feel like Endgame felt sort of like a very rushed, admittedly cool, but very rushed, complete, what's the term? Tacked on event that, you know, didn't necessarily need to happen, but it did. Because it was like they were ending Phase 4 of Marvel, and we knew that's what was happening. But Civil War just kind of evolved out of all of the events of everything that had happened prior. Alright, so give her her bridge. She's going to have kind of a very chill look on her face. I'm actually going to aim for sort of a pleased... Probably going to just have her eyes slightly shut. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what my favorite superhero movie that's come out this past year is. So I saw Infinity War in May of last year. Well, okay. When I say this year, I should probably say, because actually, you know, we're only into March of 2019. It's come out in the past several years. We kind of give her some anime-esque pleased eyes. There we go. The movie's almost a year old. Spoilers should be fine by now. Yeah, I know, that annoys me when, like, I used to have a friend in college who I would talk about movies that came out 6 years ago, and if I mentioned anything at all about the story, he would immediately flip his shit. He'd be like, you have to spoiler tag that! And I'm like, for a 6-year-old movie? I have to spoiler tag that? Why? People are funny. People are just downright funny. Actually, I just realized she's got cake in her mouth, so yeah, we're gonna give her. Gonna give her a bit of a cake bulge because she's enjoying that cake. Yeah, onomatopoeia in there. I know of and haven't even seen the film. Oh, you haven't even seen Infinity War? It's good. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about comic books, movies in general. I think that's just me and personally. I'm just a big comic nerd. I'm just gonna give her some straight star earrings. I've seen the earrings that Wonder Woman wears like be done in certain ways, but I'm just gonna give her some straight just stars. Save time. There we go. Uh-huh. 8. But yeah. Aquaman was pretty good. Aquaman, I realized something after I left the theater. Aquaman had the same story arc as Black Panther. It was reversed, though. It was an outcast reclaiming his throne as opposed to an outcast taking the throne from the main character, which is what Black Panther was. Alright, so let's do... so let's decide on where I want her fringe to go from. So let's go like right here. Here we go. Not a fan, sadly, or rather indifferent. That's totally fine. To each their own. I know a lot of people that they don't care about comic book movies at all. I've personally I've been following them since I was in middle school. I remember going and seeing the OG Iron Man with a buddy back when it first hit theaters. And I've been watching going back to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies back in the early 2000s, and of course the X-Men movies, which now that Disney has officially acquired Fox, the ink has settled, the deal is done. That whole Fox movie thing's probably just gonna slide under the carpet, and we're never gonna hear about it ever again, which is somewhat sad, but at the same time, it's we knew it was gonna happen eventually. When the Marvel Disney powerhouse took control, kind of knew how everything was gonna go down. Right, so let's see here. Oh wow, I just got a text message saying that if I go see a movie on my birthday, I could get an extra 50,000 Regal points or something. I'm like, you do realize my birthday was yesterday, right? It's a bit late for that, but okay. I've seen both Guardians of the Galaxy and I found them good. Yes, both Guardians of the Galaxy were funny. I think the first one, a bit more so. Second one, the story was well, they didn't do as much with it. They could have done more. But yeah, both the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, as far as hair length, because you know, with me and my channel, that's always a big deal. I'm gonna say we're gonna make it about butt length. There we go. I feel like, though, there are certain comic book movies like Logan that, even though they are quote-unquote based on comic books, people can appreciate them more. Logan was probably one of the best stories to come out of a comic book movie in the past, like, several years. People like to talk about The Dark Knight as having one of the best stories. I think that The Dark Knight, while it's a good movie, it set a tone for DC that they tried to continually market on, i.e. the dark, cringy Batman, and it did not work out. And I think that now they've come. I think that early 2000s comic book movies were campy in a way that was endearing, and then all of a sudden The Dark Knight came out and everyone was like, oh my god, we can tell serious, super dark stories with these universes. And so certain comic book, like the X-Men franchise, they tried to go super dark with it. The first couple, like the Incredible Hulk and stuff, they tried to go super dark with it, all those kinds of things. You had the Ghost Rider movies, which, well, the Ghost Rider movies were just bad. I call it as I see it, they were just bad. But yeah. But I mean, like, you know, there was that phase where all the comic book movies tried to be super dark and realistic, and then like, you know, they didn't sell, and then all of a sudden, comic book, or like Warner Brothers and Marvel were like, how about if we make them colorful and funny? And it worked. And that's why we have the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's why we have the Ant-Man movies, which are basically heist movies with comedians in the main roles. You know, Ant-Man, not the best story, not the greatest story in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's funny as hell. It's funny as hell, and the effects are top-notch, which is why I love the Ant-Man movies. Again, you could pretty much remove most of the Ant-Man movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the whole thing would make sense. But, alright, so let's see. Around her waist, she's going to have the sort of like... How do I describe this? It's going to be kind of like... So anyway. So yeah. Well, I think I saw those, the Nick Cage ones. Yeah, the Nick Cage Ghost Rider movies, baby. Nick Cage Ghost Rider movies. Nick Cage, man, what an actor. What an actor. Nick Cage is just, every time Nick Cage steps onto a screen, you instantly pay attention. But the problem with that is that he's so... If you don't know the story, Nick Cage is financially, like, so far in debt, he can't not take a role because he has to pay his bills. And so he will take almost literally every role that's given to him, which is, like, the really shitty, like, low-budget films all the way up to, like, I think, I don't know what the most grossed movie, like, the most money-wise gross movie he's ever made is, but probably, I think, the one that's gotten him the most... like, what's the term, exposure? I hate to use that term, but, you know, the fuck it, what was the, Disney movie? National Treasure, that was it. The National Treasure movies, I think, are, like, the most well-known movies that he's done, but then he's been doing, like, a ton of other, like, really good roles. You know, he was the dad in the first, Kick-Ass movie, which again was like a low-budget superhero film. Again, he's been Ghost Rider for the Marvel movies, but sadly that did not take off and make his career take off the way I'm sure he was expecting it to. Yeah, Ghost Rider films are... There's something. There's something. Venom was actually pretty good too. I think that Venom had a fairly forgettable villain. But other than that, I think that then right in the center, she's gonna have this sort of. But Venom, like the duality of Venom and Eddie, was so funny that it saved that movie. Oh yeah, he was in that one too. I had to see that in the school. Oh, they made you watch National Treasure in school. I watched both those movies growing up. I thought the first one was really good. The second one was meh. It felt like a Disney sequel. Is a good way to put it. Disney has notoriously been bad at writing sequels. Right. Oof. Alright, so let's see here. Let's put her gauntlets, or her boots on. So, this one, her boots are... If I can do this correctly. Sometimes armor is tricky to draw, because it's all so rigid, but it also has to, like, form around the body. So it looks like she's got, like, looks like it sort of wraps around her legging up there. And then it's also got like a second part that forms down and it sets there. 7th grade, yes. Oh, cool. Yeah. Those were okay movies. They were good. It was a fun idea. I feel like if they had not completely bombed the second movie with like a shitty story about El Dorado, the city of gold, which, you know, was which was a not American treasure. I feel like if they had not tried to make The Road to El Dorado Nick Cage edition, not that that's a terrible idea, but, you know, if they had tried to do like an original idea, that movie might have survived. All right, and then her boots are armored as well. It looks like she's got like trying to figure out. Oh god! So it's got padding all the way down the front of the boots, and then it like wraps around underneath. There we go. Perfect. Let's see. And then over here we gotta do the same thing. This is just above her kneecap. She's gonna have this guard that's gonna like come up and fin out. Armor. Tricky. And then it's gonna go... Right, so it's gonna come down and come up. I'll get to my line art soon enough. It's what, 1:30, so I've only been streaming... Well, I've only been streaming for 30 minutes. That's not bad. Alright, so... come up here. Sounds like they were just trying to make a Road to El Dorado 2, yeah. Pretty much. I don't know if you ever saw the second one. Basically, premise is they figure out that El Dorado is inside of Mount Rushmore. Spoilers. That's it. That's pretty much all of it. El Dorado was inside of Mount Rushmore the whole time! It's like, really? Really? We're going with that? At least they had, like, the sense with the first movie to make it, like, some cool, like, Egyptian pharaoh's, like, life savings that had been, like, stored away and protected by generations and generations of people. Glares at Aladdin 3. Or did they not do that? Disney did a lot of bad direct-to-video sequels back in the day. Man. I remember having some of those on VHS. Cinderella 2, I remember specifically, not because of the story, but because the VHS tape we had. I think on, like, the second time we put it in the VHS player, the tape burned itself. And so there's a section of the movie that we can't watch because it's literally just, like, when it's running through the film, it's just, like, it's like black garbage. and then it catches up a little bit after. But yeah, Cinderella 2, Pocahontas 2, not that good. At least with the sequel to The Little Mermaid, they at least did something interesting in the form of introducing Ariel's daughter, which I thought was kind of cool. One thing that a lot of people don't know is a lot of those Disney OG animated movies have animated series that went alongside them. So, for example, there was a Little Mermaid series that ran for a while. Fucking Bambi 2. I have never seen Bambi 2. And I probably never will see Bambi 2. But yeah, they ran like a Little Mermaid series. They ran an Aladdin series. They've Lilo and Stitch had an animated series for a few years that was oddly reminiscent of Pokemon in a certain sense, because they had to like capture a different monster every week or a different creation every week. They ran. Now they're doing a Tangled series, which I really like, but I mean, it's probably going to end up in the same echelon as like the others, you know. Disney has not had the best track record with creating. So let me put some. Hey, so I think we got Wonder Woman figured out. At least it was too young me. Peter Pan 2 was good though, at least it was. Yeah, I can't remember Peter Pan 2. To be honest, most of the OG ones I've forgotten about, now that I think about it. Alright, so now let's do Cheetah. Cheetah. Alright, Cheetah DC. One thing about Cheetah is that she is iconically naked. Mostly. Minerva Cheetah. Alright, so let's see here. Don't remember how it went exactly. Haven't seen it since like 2005. Yeah, I mean, that's typically how they go. Uh-oh. I must have hit a button. Alright, so let's see here. Cheetah has large cheetah-like ears that come out of the sides of her head. They're going to be sort of like cat ears, so they're going to have... Yeah, Cheetah is essentially... Actually, you know what a good thing I should probably do is? Go look up set photos from Cats, like the Broadway play, and use them for reference, because it's literally like her design is pretty much identical to like most of the Cats characters. Alright, now I'm deciding whether I want to go with her long hair version or the version from the animated series where she just has like fur. Aladdin TV series, but I don't remember much of it. Even young me found it boring. Yeah, most of the animated series were just sort of slice of life-y kind of continuations. One thing I do need to do is... Yeah, her nose. Yep, so I'm gonna give her like some, yeah. Also, I was thinking the other day, the only Disney character to confirm have had children was Ariel. None of the other... Well, the only Disney princess. There's another Disney character who has been confirmed to have kids, and it's really disturbing. Goofy! Goofy had kids! Think about that. Just kidding. Try not to think about that too much, it'll probably mentally scar you if you try to. You know, imagine how that went down, so to speak. And on that mental thought, no. My grandparents had. I'm not that old. Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna fudge it a bit. We're gonna give her hair, but we're gonna slick it back so I don't have to draw it like falling over her face and everything. Earlier. Remember there was the Little Mermaid anime series, older than the Disney one from about the late 80s, early 90s. Had 2 episodes on VHS tape with an episode of the Super Mario Brothers show. Really? That's cool. Or my grandparents had. I'm not that old. Oh yeah, Good Trip was my... Goof Trip was my shit back in the day. Man, people... I'll say this. We were just talking about Disney has a track record of bad sequels. Best one, though, The Goofy Movie 2. The Goofy Movie 2 is like the premier Disney sequel. Aside from, of course, Toy Story 2, which, you know, but that's Pixar. We can write that off. I just spit all over my screen. So. Then we're gonna have it just kind of. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, now that I'm older, though, I watch Disney movies, but I don't watch them the same way I used to when I was a kid. I watch them to critique the animation, which, I mean, look at what I'm doing. That kind of makes sense, I suppose. You know, I'm an artist. That's what I find, like, so, like, I'll go to a movie, and my sister will geek out about, like, the story, and I'm like, how did they get that water so clear? Like, I went to go see Moana, and I was just fascinated the whole movie with the water... like the ocean creature, like the ocean was a character. That whole movie, and I was like, how did they do that? Anyway, so we're gonna have the Lasso of Truth is gonna have her bound, so we're gonna. Lasso of Truth, Lasso of Truth. Yeah. Great movie that came out. Pixar knows how to make sequel, regular Disney don't. I mean, not every Pixar sequel was great. Cars 2, you know. But I mean, I think in general Pixar has a little bit of a better understanding of what their audience wants from a sequel. Like, they know how to make a story and sell it, as opposed to Disney, which is just like, we're gonna market the fuck out of this franchise. Not that isn't what Pixar does, but Pixar's like, we're gonna do it right. You know, Toy Story, best example. Right. And she'd so I gotta get these get this part right. She's got cat claws, obviously. I'm not a furry artist, but I have done a couple of furry commissions in the past, and so I know a couple things about how to draw cats or animal-like creatures. I feel like what I'm going to do real fast is after I draw, just so I can make sure I don't get them mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and make a second sketch layer. I'm just going to color in all these ropes red. That way it's easier for me to see. Toy Story sequels were great. Cars sequels were good, at least to you. I never saw Cars 2 and I never saw Cars 3. I saw the first Cars movie and I loved it. It was my jam, like, my jam 2006, 2007, I think, maybe 2008, I can't remember. Whenever that movie came out, that shit, Like, that soundtrack to that movie, holy shit. I think that movie is probably the most attention Rascal Flatts has gotten, probably will ever get. You know, I don't even know if Rascal Flatts is still like together as a band. I don't follow country music anymore. I very rarely did back in the day, but you know, I'm just gonna have it bound around her legs as well. Did someone say bondage? Dear God, no, I'm not going there. Hey. Move that back. Hey. Woo, 45 minutes in, we've already got the sketch pretty much done. I love it. I love it. I love it. Alright, I gotta do her feet though. Now, cats, like, real life cats have very different looking feet compared to us, but I'm just pretty much just going to keep her feet humanoid. Because I don't want to have to like worry about a different bone structure or any of that bullshit. I had the PS2 game as well. Same it came out, I loved it. I had the PS2 game as well, was like 12 when the second one came out, and I loved it as well. Let's see, Cars 2 came out right when I was in high school, I believe, if I remember correctly, and I remember reading reviews for it and being like, yeah, don't see this, it's not that good. It was like the Spy Flick one, and they tried to like do a bunch of weird things with it. Alright, now we can get to the line art. So let's... Oh, hold on, real fast before I go any further. I'm just gonna say ropes. I'm gonna call it or lasso or whatever, just because. Select some red, and then we're just gonna fill in underneath. So that's rope, and that's rope, and that's rope, just so I don't accidentally forget this while I'm coloring it later. Doing a little favor for myself. That's a rope. And that's rope. That's rope. Yeah, I never had a PlayStation 2 growing up. My family was like, "You're gonna have a GameCube, and that's it, because we're not gonna let you play any of those devil games. You know, the Halos and the Call of Duties and the ones that turn children into fucking, you know, psychopathic murderers. We're not going to let you play any of those video games." And I was like, alright, fine, I'll just go and play it at the church, because we had an Xbox at the church with Halo on it. Which always cracked me up, but go up to the sketch layer, need to set in where her leg is. Yeah. And then same for here. Right. And I'm just gonna merge these together and turn that down. There we go. Bingo. Right. You know what? A game that I had growing up that I sort of miss endearingly, but at the same time I'm never gonna go back and play it. Shrek 2 on the GameCube, baby. Shrek 2. DreamWorks, at least with the Shrek franchise, they did some pretty darn good sequels. Oh, let me decrease the size of my pen here. Shrek 2 was pretty good. The Shrek 3 and beyond, not as much, but Shrek 2 definitely was something else. The whole Shrek franchise, at least when it started out, was when it was, you know, what it was supposed to be, which was satire. satire of Disney. That's why Shrek exists. It was DreamWorks poking fun at Disney. When it was that, and it wasn't, you know, actually trying to be marketed as like a franchise, it was pretty good. It's only Shrek started to fall apart when they started taking it too seriously and they started actually like building a lore for it. Sounds weird. I'm not religious myself, so I just assumed they'd have like Christian games. I wouldn't put it like that, but like they only bought games that were like quote unquote family friendly. So a lot of Nintendo franchises, like I had both of the Sonic Adventure games. I had Star Fox. I had friggin' Kirby Air Ride. I had a lot of Sonic games on the GameCube back in the day. That was like my brand, you know. I started drawing Sonic. I did not draw Sonic OCs. I want to make that distinction. I never created Sonic original characters, but I did draw the hell out of some Sonic characters, like the actual characters, like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Big the Cat. Although fuck Big the Cat because his sections of the games suck. But Shadow, all of those characters. Drew the hell out of them growing up. But yeah, I played a lot of those quote-unquote family. Played a lot of Smash Brothers back in the day on the OG GameCube. Never had an N64, sadly. Had Pac-Man Arena. My mom's not a gamer. She is not a gamer. But the one series that I could always convince her to play was Pac-Man Arena on the GameCube. And I remember we almost beat Pac-Man one time. We got deep into Pac-Man one time. Kind of wish I'd kept that up, but whatever. Maybe someday we'll do that again. I had a game. I meant the church. Didn't think they'd have Halo. We had a youth. Well, one thing to understand about churches is that it was a youth center at a church that had an Xbox with Halo. Second thing you need to understand is that a lot of the parents weren't happy about it, which, I mean, you know, it makes sense. But our youth pastor back then was a really chill dude, and he was like, yeah, just put an Xbox with Halo in it. Also, but the thing was, and this is weird, I have never played through all of the OG Halo for one simple reason. The Xbox they had at the church, the disc was scratched. And if you tried to play past the second world, it would, what's the term? It would, like, every time it tried to boot up the third level of the OG Halo game, it would crash. Every time without question. So, all we did is if you were by yourself, you played Halo level 1 and level 2, played the hell out of that. But if you had buddies that were back there with you, you played Halo multiplayer. Blood Gulch, baby. Blood Gulch. I had a SNES that broke, or rather my dad had. I had a PS2 as well, and they just switched over to DS, 3DS. Oh, really? They just got a DS? The Switch, though, man, the Switch is where it's at. DS is... I feel like the DS is on its way to being phased out, like, within the next couple of years. Because the Switch exists. The Switch is like everything the DS wants to be. It's like the better older sibling of the DS. That having been said, it's the DS is actually quote unquote pocket sized, whereas the Switch is not currently. But rumor has it they're developing a Switch Lite, which is gonna, you know, fix that problem. It's gonna be a smaller Switch. I love my Switch. I was just playing. I played some Fortnite on it. Yes, that's right, folks. I play Fortnite. Have at me. It's not a bad game. I think that a lot of the culture surrounding Fortnite is bad, but I mean, that could be said of a lot of things, you know. Fortnite by itself, not a bad game, But yeah, I was playing some Fortnite the other day. I bought Undertale on the Switch. BRB gonna have dinner. Alright, man. I'll be here for a couple more hours, so whenever you get back. Yeah. Here we go. So last time I did a stream, someone hopped in there, basically plugged their website for was it watchmework.com, and I admit I gave it a shot trying to like set it up before I went on stream, and it was one of those scenarios where I was like, okay, if it takes longer than 20 minutes, I'm not going to worry about it, and I got. Like, it was wanting me to set up like a YouTube live thing, and then I had to like screen share it to another web page, and I had to copy a link from that way. It was one of those things where every time I was like, all right, am I done yet? Am I done yet? Am I done yet? Every step had another step, you know, kind of thing. I don't know. I'll look into it more, but I did not find the setup of said website extension to be user-friendly at all. It was hectic and annoying. It was like 18 steps. I mean, you know, maybe it's just that that's the only way it would work. Yeah. So, I'm not streaming on watchmework.com right now because I couldn't fucking figure it out, and I wanted to go ahead and get the stream started. So, maybe tomorrow, since I'll have more time tomorrow, with it being a Saturday. But for now, I'm just gonna not worry about that. Yeah, the less technical I can get with how I do my streaming, the better. If I can press a button and just make it happen, that's all I need to worry about. I'm not a tech guy. Last name! Hey, Cohen! Welcome back. Turn this over. How you been? Whoop. Oh. So yeah. There we go. Hold. And this is gonna pop up. I've been doing just fine. I just had my birthday yesterday. Work's been going good, been getting plenty of overtime. Life's been pretty good recently. Got my truck back finally after my dad had borrowed it for a couple weeks. So I've got 2 vehicles now. I got a plate of cupcakes right next to me. Been pretty good, and I might get to see my baby niece this weekend if she comes down on Sunday. I don't know if they will or not. They probably will, but I don't know. Maybe it might be tomorrow. Actually, that's a fair point. I need to text my parents and we need to solidify whether or not... Let me do that real fast now that I'm thinking about it. Dear Mom, Ames if he would... Aw, hell yeah. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's only a day late. It was literally just yesterday. Yeah, might get to see my brother and my sister-in-law and my baby niece. My baby niece was just born back on March 5th. So, be good to see her. Yeah, there we go. But, so that's kind of what inspired this. So my birthday is kind of what has inspired this image. So today is Wonder Woman's fictional birthday, March 22nd. So just kind of keeping on the theme of birthdays, that's why drawing Wonder Woman having a little cake on her birthday.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm afraid it's nothing more than a daydream.
Some of these lines, I'm sure, have come from movies that I've seen, but I can't think of them.
I hope that the rain will never stop.
Daydream.
Alright. How do I draw eyes? Oh, that's a tricky one. Carefully. No two artists do it the same way. I mean, just kind of popping off here for a moment. This qualifies as an eyeball. You know, this is your standard. Whoop. You know, these are eyes. You could also do, you know, the more anime-esque, you know, kind of eyes. You can always do those kinds of eyes, you know. All qualify. All are acceptable. It's really dependent on the style that you're going for. I know you remember last time you mentioned that you draw more realistically. So in reality, an eyeball is a sphere, alright? So you got your eyeball. And if you think of it kind of like a globe, it kind of, you know, it has dimensions, kind of like the shape of the earth and so forth. You know, hashtag not a flat earther. But, and so if you think about it, if that's the way your eyeball sits in your head, then it's kind of hard to imagine, but this is kind of what an eyeball looks like when it's inside your body. You got eyelashes and so forth that stick out. And then you've got your, you know. So if you think about it like a sphere, that's kind of how eyes work. And then of course you've got, like, you know, you gotta understand that it's recessed in, you know, depending on how deep the eye goes in. It can be recessed in. You've got, you know, eyebrows, and you've got like a cheek that comes up underneath and all that kind of stuff. So eyes can be tricky. Art lessons with Dan. Getting back to what we were doing. But yeah, eyes are really dependent on what kind of style you're going for.
Did the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world?
Yeah. Yep. I was watching a snippet on Twitter a couple weeks back of an art school at a manga academy in Japan, and the artist, the professor, he gets up and he's like, "So I'm sure some of you have all done this before," and he draws like the super intricate looking eyeball. He's like, "But I want to." And so this is a school where they train professional mangakas, you know, to go out and actually work in the industry. He said, "I want to raise you something else." That, everyone draws that. Every single person tries to create that super stylized, you know, looking anime eye. And because everyone does it, everyone's work is going to end up looking the same. He said, "I raise you something else. Nobody has the courage to draw simple eyes." And he goes up and he basically draws the equivalent of like a Mickey Mouse looking character with a little more anime. And he's like, "I sold this to a company for like some $1,000. Like I sold the rights to this character for like advertising to a company. And it, you know, he takes me like 5 minutes to sketch." He said, "Why is that important?" "Well, because when you're working in an industry where time is everything, the less time you can spend drawing things like eyes, the more work you can create, the more money you can make. So," he said, "you need to start thinking about simplifying your creations as opposed to making them complex." And the irony of all of this, of me talking about this while I'm drawing, is that right now my goal is to create detail with this Wonder Woman speech. But I'm not selling this, am I? There's no client here. This is just me drawing some fan art for myself. But yeah, so that's one thing you think of is learn how eyes work and then learn how to simplify. Don't be afraid to overly simplify if needed. That's how Chibi, that's why Chibi as an art form exists, because somebody somewhere got really tired and wanted to like not have to put too much effort into creating their artwork. So they just found a style that was aesthetically pleasing and simple. Not saying that Chibi artists are, you know, lazy, but as an art form, Chibi does not require as much time to draw as, like, say, for example, artists who do super realistic stuff like the OG, like, you know, Cowboy Bebop and way back in those days, you know, Samurai Champloo and all those like series that are like super stylized and detailed. I wonder what the most stylized anime I've ever seen is. I'm trying to think. Most stylized anime. Most stylized. Not counting 3D animation. The most stylized 2D anime off the top of my head. Probably something from like. There was some movies created. God, I can't remember the name of the man who created them. But I can describe the plot of the movie. Basically, the movie was sort of like a mockumentary about the life of an actress, and it's basically going from her time growing up in Japan in like the early 1900s all the way until her quote-unquote death in like the late 90s. And it's basically following her entire acting career, but it's so well done. It's so well done. God, I can't remember. It was free to watch on YouTube several years back. That's how I found it. Like, it got put up on YouTube as, like, a free-to-watch movie. Like, a sponsored free-to-watch, not like a bootleg version. Like, you could tell people about this and it would not get delisted kind of thing. Oh, God, I can't remember the name of it. but it was so well done. And so like the whole movie was narrated through the perspective of these two this interviewer and a film guy, like the cameraman. And as she would tell part of her story, it would cut to like her as a little child, and then in the background of like her doing like, you know, the thing that she's talking about, she's like, when I was a kid, I met this one boy. Off to the side, you'd see like the narrator and the cameraman, and they're in like clothing that's appropriate to that time period. So there was another part where she starts talking about like the period in her acting career when she did a lot of historical dramas, and so she's dressed up in like geisha clothing. And then you see, like, off to the side, you see the cameraman and the interviewer, and they're both wearing like historically appropriate garb, but they're still talking to her as if they're doing an interview, which is like, it was just like, they're so well done. Have you ever drawn an anime character? Oh yes. Did you look at my page? Did you like go look at my DeviantArt page? Yes, I draw anime characters. I draw a lot of anime characters. Maybe more recently, not as much, but I have definitely drawn anime characters. God, it's gonna bug me. I need to figure out what the name of that movie was. I'll figure it out later. Yeah, for a little while, back when I was in high school, like a lot of artists, I wanted to be a mangaka. Like an American mangaka, which didn't work out because it's not really a proficient quote unquote, like, what's the term? It's not a profession that's big over here. You want to be a mangaka in Japan? Possible, very possible. They have schools. They have, you know, that's an accepted, like, you know, way of life for some people over there. Way of making a living. Over here, not as much. We have cartoonists. We have designers. We have caricature artists. 90% of the time, they're underpaid, but they exist. Let's see if I can get this bicep looking just right. Oh, I was looking at the head shaving. Yeah, that tends to happen as well. What can I say? People commission me for that kind of stuff. Oh, you made a manga or maybe a comic? I had plans to make one. They never materialized. I didn't understand story structure. I didn't understand paneling. There's a lot of mental or of technical know-how of how to create a comic book and a manga that I didn't have back then, and to an extent I still don't have. So in high school it never materialized. A couple of my OCs from back then still hang around on my page occasionally. But for the most part, I let it go. I just kind of let that die. Plus, comic books, they are not easy to make. Anyone who tells you that it's like, oh, you're just drawing, that's so easy, has never tried it. You know, look at how much time I'm spending drawing just one shot here. A relatively simple shot, and tell me that, you know, it's easy to draw stuff. Good. Put her collarbone in. Yeah, back in the day in high school, I had plans to write a manga, or try anyway. Then again, back in high school, I had like no life. I was homeschooled, and so I was basically indoors all the time, just kind of in my bedroom. I was like, fuck it, what do I want to do? You know what I really want to do? I want to write a manga. I want to draw and write a manga, and I'm gonna go online and get it published. That might be why I found DeviantArt. It might be that this whole what I do now, drawing for fun, spawned out of that desire back then, if I think about it. But my goals have since changed. Now I'm really just interested in getting my bills paid and having fun. More than, writing full-length stories. Oh, sounds like the music may have cut off. Excuse me for a sec, folks. Oh wait, no, it's still going. Should be anyway. Yeah, when you get older, I think you mentioned that you were in high school. When you get older, your priorities are going to change. You like to tell yourself that it's not going to be like that when you're in high school, but trust me, when you are living on your own and your main goal is keeping yourself fed and making sure your bills get paid, your priorities will change. It's just the way life works. So the goal is balance. The goal is finding the time to do the things that you like, while also making sure you have the resources and time set aside to do the things that you need to do as well. Do you know SCP Confinement made by Lord Bung? No, I do not. What is that? Is that like a webcomic? An anime? Or, sorry, a manga? What is that? I don't read a lot of webcomics. Probably should. There's a lot of good ones out there, but I don't read a lot of them. Once I finish this gauntlet, I'm going to eat another cupcake. I've got cupcakes off to the side here from my birthday party yesterday. Red velvet ones, too. They're good. What am I looking at time-wise? 2 o'clock? Yeah, I'll be done by 4. I'll be done 2:15. I'll be done by 4. If I've gotten this far into the line art already. Unlike the Rapunzel one where I had to draw a bunch of hair, this is going to be relatively simple. It's an animation on YouTube. I'm gonna live alone when I'm in college. I did. Well, I had roommates because I lived on campus all 4 years. My brother lived by himself when he was in college, and I borrowed his apartment one summer while I was doing some summer classes, and those were some interesting times, interesting days. Those like 2 or 3 weeks when I was living in his apartment, because he had just graduated and was moving out, but they still had an active lease. And I was like, yo, I need a place to stay for a couple weeks like up around the college, and I don't want to have to go find a place to rent out. They're like, just use James's apartment, it's already paid for. And I went, okay. That place was a shithole, though. That place was an absolute shithole. Fucking roaches all over the goddamn place. Wi-Fi was shit. Smelled weird. Bathrooms sucked. Yeah. Different time back then, different time. But I remember that time fondly. I was doing a required, well, it wasn't required, but I was doing a summer course to make up for a class that I had dropped during the full-time year. And so I would basically wake up, go to class for like an hour or an hour and a half every day, finish up, then I would hop in my car, or I'd go to the library and do like 2 or 3 hours of homework, and I'd come home, and if I didn't have any research projects to do, I would hop on Xbox and play Destiny, or I would, this was back when I had the little Wacom tablet on the PC, or I'd do some drawings for DeviantArt. Some of the earliest pieces on my page actually came out of that 2 or 3 week period where I just had nothing better to do than to just draw with my free time all the damn day. It was like 2 or 3 weeks of that, man. I never realized I missed that so much, but I mean, I guess I don't miss it now because it's kind of what I do now, but at least now I have a job. Instead of it being college, it's Dan has a job, Dan goes to job, Dan comes home from job, and Dan draws. or Dan plays video games, or Dan sleeps. Or any combination of all of the above, or plays Magic the Gathering, or whatnot. God, I'm gonna get to go to a Commander night for the first time in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? When was the last Commander match I played? Friday... Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Holy shit. Because they're not calling me in for a 9:30... Or they're not calling me in for an 8:30 call time if they have been. Do you play Warframe? I do, actually. Not a whole lot, but I play a little bit of Warframe on the Switch. Because they added it onto the Switch. A friend of mine got me into it a couple of months back on the PS4, but I never played it on the PS4 that much. And then they put it on the Switch, and I played a little bit more of it, but it's not like a game I play all the time. But yes, I do play Warframe. Why do you ask? I assume you play it as well, but I assume you play it on PC. I feel like that's what most people do. Hey kids, let's draw a little food porn. You know, I have to say, if I wasn't, like, if I was really into just drawing whatever the hell I wanted, I'd probably just start drawing food porn all the time. Because, oh my god, have you seen some of the animated series where they do really good food stuff? I would just draw food porn all the time. Like, if I wasn't, like, deep into, you know, drawing hair for people on DeviantArt or drawing comic book characters, I'd just draw a bunch of food porn. I should do that. I should take like a good 2-month hiatus and just learn how to draw food really well. Just kidding. I'm sure that's what my people on my page would love. They would love to see me learn how to draw food very well. Tell me your love story. Food? Alright kids, listen up. It's about to get steamy up in here. Oh boy. Are you talking about, like, are you joking as in, like, me and food, or are you talking about, like, my love life? Because the second is, it's a very short story. It's non-existent. I'm not at that point in my life yet. I'm just trying to get financially stable before I start worrying about bringing someone home. Should I give Wonder Woman? Let's give her a little bit of let's give her a bit of just a little bit of like a cake smear on her cheek or something, you know. I gotta shift off from that sitting on my feet. There we go. Yeah, if you were wondering what my my love life is like, that's a short book. Begins and ends the same way, with a blank page. Remember how I said it was homeschooled? Didn't get out a whole lot. Didn't meet a lot of people back in high school. Went to college. Basically kept the same trend. Food and anime is so beautiful. I think that's how we write beautiful. Food is a universally accepted language. Like good food is the one thing that I don't think anyone on the face of this planet can be angry at. Like if you give someone good food, they may not say it, but they like you a little bit better. They'll like you just a little bit better if you can make good food for them. I should learn how to cook good. Hey. Let's see here. Right. I might. I was saying this earlier, Cullen. By the way, I'm not going to be doing this piece today all the way into coloring because I got some stuff I want to do. Speaking of, I should go check. Tell you what, after I get this bracer thing around her waist done, I need to go check the clothing I put in the wash and move it over to the dryer. Because I bet you it's already done. And my art, they draw food and anime like so much better in real life. They draw food and anime like so much better than in real life. That's what you mean. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, food in anime is designed to look as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Because it's, you know, food is not, all your senses are connected. You actually don't have a sense of taste if you don't have a sense of smell, and your eyesight is one of the primary factors. Like, if food looks bad, your mouth does not salivate. Your mouth does not produce saliva to get you to ingest the food. That's why, like, you know, it's kind of why people don't like broccoli, I guess is a good way of putting it, because it's a weird greenish color and it looks like tiny little trees. And to our human brains, most people anyway, that's not a very appetizing thing. Now that having been said, broccoli can be prepared in a way that is not terrible. Or like some sort of like exotic fish and so forth. People don't really like. You have to prepare it in such a way so that it looks good as well as tastes good, because if it doesn't look good, people are not going to want to eat that. It'll ruin their appetite, so to speak. That's why culinary schools put so much emphasis on the way it's presented, not just in the way it tastes. Anyone can learn to cook tasty food, but not everyone knows how to make aesthetically pleasing tasty food. Alright, I'm gonna do this real fast, then I'm gonna hop out for a moment and go check on my clothing that I put in the wash. Yeah. BRB, just gonna hop over to the laundry room real fast and check on my clothing, move it over to the dryer. BRB. Science. Science, bitch! Alright. I'm having a cupcake real fast. Food porn. Okay. Alright, that's fine, Cohen. 4 o'clock is probably right about the time that I'm going to end this stream. Or, you know, whenever I get the line art done, which will probably be around 4. Might be a bit sooner at the rate we're moving. I'm booking it through this. I'd say I'm already about 45% of the way done with this. And I've only been streaming for about an hour and a half now. Actually, I might be a little bit farther than 45%. But yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, stay as long as you want. Hang out as long as you want. When you gotta go, you gotta go. It's one thing I love about live streams is that people can just kind of... Unlike TV, where if you miss it, you gotta, you know, wait until it gets uploaded, re-uploaded somewhere. And you just kind of pop back in. And live streams, while they're going on, you can just kind of hop in at your own discretion. And then you can kind of watch it back later. I feel like I was thinking about this the other day. Television, in its traditional sense, is kind of dying off. People don't really like sit down and watch, like, you know, we don't follow a TV show and then wait till it comes on and then immediately watch it like one time and then you have to talk about it. We record things and we watch things at our own leisure. That's the modern day entertainment. And I feel like live entertainment specifically is taking over the market. So Twitch, even though like I'm not a Twitch affiliate, I'm not making any money off of this. I feel like this is the way entertainment's moving, is towards, you know, more live event stuff. And it's ironic that I say that because my very first job getting out of college was door-to-door sales, selling satellite cable packages. And let's just say I found that tricky in this modern day, in this digital streaming modern day and age. There's a reason I'm not doing that anymore. Alright. You give Mom respond back. I need to figure out who all is coming to the hangout on Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna send out some reminders on Facebooks. Shoot that around. Do you believe in ghosts, Dan? Nope. I believe in the human imagination. And I believe in circumstance. And I believe that when those two things are put together in such a specific way, illusions... I believe that ghosts are as real as we make them, you know? I mean, I know people who ascribe agency to their car. You know how that, I don't know if you're aware of, like, when like some people will actually they'll give their car like a personality based on the way that it operates and so forth. And ultimately, does that car actually have a personality? No, it's not fucking Herbie. But whoop. It's not fucking Herbie. Cars don't think for themselves. But if a car acts a certain way, you know, like it doesn't want to run at certain times of the day. Sometimes people will like, oh, that's because my car's mad at me, or they'll say things like that. I think it's the same with ghosts. People ascribe agency to things that they don't understand, or things that they don't want to, or something they saw. Okay. Text message about to the fam about some events going on this weekend. But yeah, I'm not like, you know, if it's like, oh, do I believe in ghosts? I'll say this though, if this house had a ghost in it, I would be ecstatic. Not because I'd be scared, but because I'd have A, someone to talk to, and B, because I could charge them rent. It'd be like a pay me rent or I exorcise you sort of thing. And I've been here 2 years and I haven't found a ghost yet, so fuck it. Yeah, I have to admit, when I first moved into this house, you know, having been in a dorm with a bunch of roommates for several years, it was a bit creepy the first couple of nights. It was kind of hard to like fall asleep and stay asleep, just the silence, but, you know, I've gotten used to it. You get used to things like that over time. Is there something you believe that not many people believe, like aliens? I don't know if I quote-unquote believe in aliens. I think the idea that there could be aliens out there isn't terribly far-fetched. I mean, look at us. You know, the idea that there's a planet out there that has the capacity to support life is not, in my opinion, is not far-fetched. Now, that having been said, I'm not going to sit here and say that I believe aliens, like, exist in the way we think they do, you know. An alien is any sort of like life form on another planet. Could be like a single cell organism or anything like that. Not quote unquote like sentient green men or anything like that. Is there anything I believe in that a lot of other people would not believe in? If you're talking like paranormal or supernatural, not really. I'm a very logically minded guy. I don't put a lot of stock in stuff like that. I grew up in a very religious household, so there's a whole other side of that's like a whole different conversation I don't want to get into right now. But I've in my adult, as I've grown up, I've learned to start questioning things a lot more. You know, things I've been told and things that I've been led to believe were fact. I've started questioning a lot of, like, you know, certain spiritual beliefs and so forth. But no, I'm not like a big, you know, I don't put a lot of stock in like paranormal or anything like that. I do put a lot of stock in in the human ability to ascribe agency to things and to create illusions and you know, theatricality and all those sorts of things. But no, I'm not a very now that having been said, I love me a good ghost story. You know, I actually have a couple books on different theology and different not theology, mythology in different cultures, like Scotland and Norse mythology and all that. I think that stuff's kind of cool because it gives us an insight into their culture and the way that they think and whatnot, what their values are. You're wondering who the second viewer is. Well, I have a couple suggestions. It might be me because I have the Twitch chat open, like as a secondary window on my computer, and I know that if I have Twitch open in any way, like usually if I ran like the mobile dashboard through my phone when I do like a game stream, it goes ahead and it marks me, like my phone, as an active viewer, even though it's logged into the same account, which I think is stupid, but whatever. So it might be me. Another possibility is there's a guy named C. Willareg who came from the Discord server. He was on just slightly before you came on, and he left to go get dinner. He might still be here, he just might not be commenting. Like, his computer might be running, he's just not active at the moment. So those are two options. Alright, let me turn off the sketch for a second so I can get this hair where I want it. I really like this playlist. I'm gonna make a YouTube playlist of copyright-free music to play during streams, because this is good right here. Can I get this shine in her hair? Oh, see you, Dan. I'm going to bed. Alright, thank you for hanging out. Hope to talk to you again some other time. Just before you go, I'm going to try and make this Fan Art Friday thing a regular thing. Emphasis on the word try, because you never really know. But as much as can, I'm going to see if I can like set apart a 3-hour window around this time every Friday to just kind of pop in and draw something. Something that I feel like I really want to draw every Friday. But yep, thank you for hanging out. Have a good night, and hope the rest of your day, or whatever, hope tomorrow goes very well for you. Let's give her some hair on the side of her head. Alright, so let's do this other gauntlet on her arm. You know what one of the trickiest things to draw is? Fully geometric shapes like plates and so forth can be tricky to draw because you want to make them look as perfect as possible, but you know you also can't. Alright, so let's do the cake now. Sounds like the YouTube video may have stopped. It did, okay. So let's reset. Oh, all the way from the beginning. There we go. Perfect.
They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself. I tell you, instead of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude all by yourself. distanced yourself from the whole thing.
There we go. So now I gotta get these like cake layers drawn in. I wonder, well, no one's here to answer this, but just viewers, do you prefer when a cake is coated on the Oh! Literally right as I started asking questions. It's funny. Welcome back. Is anyone still here? There was a guy here earlier, a guy named Cohen. He was in my last stream. He dipped out probably about 10 minutes ago because he had to go to sleep, but we were chatting for a little bit, gave him some art tips. But I was just thinking, now that you're here, it's actually a good time to ask a question. Do you prefer when a cake has multiple flavors inside of it, or do you prefer cakes that are one flavor all the way through? Like, what do you prefer? Prefer cakes with layers or cakes without layers? By that I mean cakes that are like triple decker, or like three different flavors or something like that, you know? Also, what's your favorite flavor cake? Just curious. Mine, it's tied between sort of like a German chocolate and red velvet. Red velvet's pretty good. Red velvet and vanilla. Ooh. That's one of my cupcakes this year, red velvet. But I'm not picky. If you give me a sweet tasting, you know, I think a better way to describe it is what's my least favorite flavor of cake. Coconut's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. Layered ones. What do you like, layered? Nice. I have no preference, honestly. Let's get these legs done. Strong thighs. Wonder Woman's got them strong thighs. Calf muscle she could smash her skull with. Yeah. Right, so So what'd you have for dinner? Since we're on the topic of food, seems to be a prevailing theme throughout the stream is food. Pop my neck. Has some Thai stew thingy. Oh. Did you like order out? Did you make it yourself? Sounds really good. Thai stew. I assume it had like takeaway day because lazy. Heh, you know what? We all gotta have takeaway days. Sometimes takeout is the best kind. Takeout Taco Bell. Fucking great. There was there was a pizza place where I went to college. It's called the Pizza Buffet. Yeah, super original name. But I learned this the very first time I went there. I learned a secret about the Pizza Buffet that only my select group of friends knew this secret because it was sort of like one of those things that you just kind of don't tell people because if everyone knows, it kind of ruins it. So the Pizza Buffet, obviously, it's a big old pizza buffet. You can walk up and get any type of pizza. It's like a $7 buffet or something like that. But at the end of every day, they throw out all the pizza that's on the menu that they haven't, like, they remake their pizza fresh every day. So at the end of the day, if it isn't taken, they throw it out. Well, I learned something. If you go at like 30 minutes prior to closing, hold on, folks. Hello. Hey, who is this? That was odd. Somebody calling about my my TV package. But the line hung up on itself, so I don't know what went on there. I get a lot of ever since I got a TV package so I could watch like a certain number of shows. I've been getting every like couple weeks I'll get like a call from someone who's like offering me a deal. And then I'll call AT&T back, AT&T DirecTV back, and I'll ask them. Because never take a deal you hear about immediately on the phone. Never take a deal immediately on the phone. Because 9 times out of 10, it might be a scam. So, write down all the information they tell you, all the information. Call the company directly and tell it to them. And if they confirm it, then you can proceed. But never take a deal you hear directly on the phone. Just a little bit of advice. But anyway, yeah, back to the Pizza Buffet. So you go at a specific time of night, about 30 minutes before they close, and you stick around till about 10 minutes after they've already like stopped seating people. Then you finish your pizza, you finish your buffet and all that. You walk up to the buffet line and you go, "Hey, I'll take anything that you guys don't want." And I would leave the Pizza Buffet with like 8 boxes of full-size pizzas. $7 buffet, and I'd leave with like 8 boxes of pizza. Some of it was dessert pizza. Like they made, it wasn't the best, but they made like a chocolate chip kind of like crust pizza. It was so good. that was the days. I'd leave the pizza buffet with so much free pizza. Well, I say free, so much very cheap pizza. Part of me wants to call that number back after I'm done, because I'd be willing to bet you it's probably a fake number, or it's probably a hacked number.
Y'all feel it?
I found this mobile game the other day called Raid. It's generic in a lot of senses, though. Like it doesn't like change the way that it's not like a super like inventive kind of mobile game. It's sort of like a gotcha game where you collect a bunch of characters and you fight with them in like an RPG kind of arena. It's turn-based combat kind of thing. You build a team, you go in and you fight a bunch of bosses and all that. But the graphics are so damn good for a mobile game. This might be some of the best graphics I've ever seen, and some of those characters are like super stylized and cool. And I admit that they gave you 4 options for a starting character to start your first team with, and one of them was this black-haired elf girl with like butt-length black hair, and I was like, her. I admit sometimes I choose characters solely based on their appearance, not based on any like stats or anything like that. I'm just like, they look cool. Yeah, you know, bring them over. I think a lot of people do that. They just play games not because they want to be good at them, but because they like looking at them. I do fit into that category sometimes. So all I've got to do after this is I've got to do the legs, and then I've got to do Cheetah down there. And then right about the time I finish Cheetah, it should be about 4 o'clock, and that's when we'll call it. So about another, maybe a little less than an hour from now, we'll end the stream. But I'm almost done with this. There we go. There we go. Right. Comes up here and wrap wraps over around her calf muscle in her leg. Right, so that needs to go down there. Alright, so I think that pretty much does it for Wonder Woman. Turn the line art layer off, or the sketch layer off. Yep, that looks pretty much done. Maybe add in some small details here and there. Yeah. A little hatching in some spots. But other than that, I would call that Wonder Woman part anyway. El completo, as they say in El Mexico. I did not do well in Spanish. Right, so now we gotta do the cat lady. So unlike Wonder Woman, where she has smooth skin, Cheetah has fur. So you gotta kind of draw fur all over the place. I think I'll give Cheetah some earrings too.
hard.
Stick and go. Still here, Sir Willig? Or did you have to bamf out? Anybody here?
Stop reaching up the radio wave. Computer scrambled.
Ooh. There we go. Gotta get it just right. There we go. Make the hair look nice and slick. I guess Sir Willig must have left. If so, thanks for hanging out. But if you're still here, that's fine. I wonder what commander deck I want to play tonight at Friday Night Magic. I'm only going to have an hour before I have to leave and go to work, so I don't want to try the Amara deck. That takes too long. Judith might be fast, but it might not work at all. Depends on how the draws go. I've only ever won like one game of Magic or 2 games of Magic with Judith. I could just go classic Xenagos. I don't know. Could try Shun Yu out, but I know I'm going to be in a 4-person game, and that wouldn't work out too well. Boros, nope. How about, should I take Judith? I tell you what, should I try Judith again? I could try Judith. Probably wouldn't work too well. go.
Yeah.
Get in that groove. Get rid of these cat fangs. We'll give her a high wing, like winged eyeliner kind of thing. There we go. There we go, perfect. So come down. sketch up for a second. I'm feeling like after I'm done, so if I finish this at 4 o'clock, which is going to be in like 30 minutes, and then, yeah, so I'll probably be done with this in the next like 30 minutes, folks, just FYI, to anyone who's watching. Not going to be doing this much longer. But, I feel like I'm gonna watch before I go to leave to go to Commander Night at 7. I'll make something to eat and watch Aquaman on my phone, because I bought that the other day on digital download. There we go. There we go. Oops. There we go. I accidentally erased a bunch of her mouth. Got a lot of fur I gotta draw. She's essentially a furry. Cat lady. She's essentially a furry. So we gotta do this rope. The lasso of truth, as it's called. Yeah, chat got dead. Of course, I'm not going to be on for much longer. Once I finish Cheetah here in the next like 10 to 15 minutes, I would suspect I'll be done for the day, withdrawing, so to speak. God, I got so many TV shows I gotta get caught up on. I was just thinking about that. So many damn TV shows. Game of Thrones, fucking, all the like CW stuff. I'm like 4 or 5 episodes behind on Flash and Supergirl because it's just been like since the new work shift has started, I've just been so consumed with doing this. I need to log into Fortnite today and get my daily challenge. I don't have to complete it, but I just want to log in and acquire it, so that way I can, you know, get the, finish it in a couple days and not have to think about it. Almost there. We're getting close to the end, folks. Getting close to the end. Thanks for hanging around. If you're still watching. Whoop, wrong one. Toss that. So let's see here. DCverse offers one day of free access for Batman's 80th on March 3rd. Oh! Well. March 30th, free DC Universe. I think I know what I'm gonna do on that day. March 30th, I guess I'll binge watch all of the remaining episodes of Young Justice and, fuck it, what do you call it? The new show, Doom Patrol. Alright, so I gotta do these feet real fast. Now, I wonder how Wonder Woman 1984 is going to handle Cheetah. I honestly know nothing about the character, so I don't even know if she's supposed to like be like a mutant, or if she's like just a cat person, like a race of cat people, or I don't understand anything about like, you know, character. Alright, almost done. Just a couple more things we're going to do real fast, and then we'll call it for the day. Alright, so right where she's hitting the ground, gonna put some, basically just fill this in. Fill all that in. Right. Yeah. Hey, cat. Yeah. Right. Just gonna put some shadow lines right here. Insinuate where Wonder Woman is standing. Alright. I'm kind of wondering if I should add in a little bit of text box. Yeah, I'm thinking like. Let's see. artist. Set that like, let's say, like Helvetica. Or... Arial. And then this part, make that bold. Yeah, I just realized, I think I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to shift it slightly to the left so I can center it, enter, there we go, perfect. So I can get that tiny bit of her hair that's not like coming off the edge. There we go, perfect. 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 Perfect, perfect, perfect. And put some onomatopoeia next to her mouth, like, mmm. Alright. Alright, folks. I would say, I'm just taking a quick glance over. I would say that's pretty much done. Well, maybe one thing I'll change real fast. One thing I want to work on is the smoke coming off this candle. For some reason, it's just not sitting right with me. There we go. Just have it, just some wisp of smoke, you know. There we go. Oh, she's so happy. She's so happy. Alright, folks, thanks so much for watching. As always, I'll be back possibly tomorrow to color this. I think actually, yeah, I think I will. I think I'll do a live stream tomorrow of me coloring this. That way I can get as close to March 22nd as possible, like the colored one anyway. Thanks so much for watching. If you were here to comment in the chat thread, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, keeping me company for a little while. If you would like to see more videos like this, I haven't done too many art streams up until this point, but I may do some more in the future. You can subscribe to my Twitch channel, Dynamite, right above here. Dynamite over on Twitch. I am working on getting a streaming schedule set up. To start with, I think I'm going to at least say that Fridays, I'm going to do at least one fan art Friday every week. Potentially might do two if I, like for tomorrow when I'm going to do color this. If you would also be more interested in like some gaming, hence gaming, right there. You can also find that on my YouTube channel, which is, if you look all the way on the left side over there, or sorry, right side for you, Daniel W. Artist. Find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, find me on my DeviantArt page where I will be posting this. I also post all the other fan arts that I make, as well as commissioned artworks and so forth. And if you would like to, say you just popped in the stream last minute and you want to rewatch the whole thing all the way through from the beginning, you can find me. I'm going to be uploading this live stream directly to YouTube. So you can find me at my Daniel W. Artist YouTube channel as well. I also have all my gaming playthroughs up there as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Oh, one thing before I go, I gotta sign and date it. Let's see. Here's a good spot down here. And it's gonna be 3/22/19. There we go. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, follow me on social media, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me here on Twitch, set up notifications so you get notified every time I go live, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye, keep it real.